What up, people? It's the Dub Podcast on I Live for Saturdays, the best college football channel on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at I Live for Saturdays, 4 as in the number 4. Like, comment, and subscribe. And Lamar Jackson is by far the best player in college football. He already has 13 touchdowns in 6 quarters of football. That is unbelievable. Lamar Jackson reminds me of John Franklin III from Last Chance U against, Mississippi Delta Community College or whatever. That's what Lamar Jackson looks like, except every single day, and he's playing Division I teams, not junior college teams. He is incredible. And today, I got with me the Big O. Say what's up, Big O.
What up?
The Big O, watching more college football than I am, actually. I have been swamped with work, so he's probably more knowledgeable than I am.
At this point, yeah. I don't work weekends anymore, so that helps.
Omar, your hot takes on Lamar Jackson.
I think Lamar Jackson is... I agree. I think he's the best player so far of the year. He's the best player of the year so far. I don't want to... anything could happen in the next 10 weeks. So, we never know. But I do think that this week will be a huge defining game for Lamar Jackson. I think this is going to be one of those games that they put in the documentary that they make about him.
About his Heisman?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So, week 1 had one of the best weekends of college football. We got to see Oklahoma get trounced by Houston, Florida State, Ole Miss. Texas found a star. Finally found their new quarterback. Charlie Strong got Texas back on track. Whooped Notre Dame at the end of in overtime.
Probably the best game.
Probably the best game of the year.
So far.
That is probably the best game I've seen since Alabama Ohio State. The pace, the talent, the execution, awesome. So many great plays. But LSU losing to Eric's alma mater. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, I never thought that a Wisconsin team could actually beat a high-ranked SEC school. I never thought I'd see that in my life. Me
too. I literally never thought I would see that in my life. And it's pretty amazing when the upper schools get to play closer to their home. Who has the bigger advantage? I would have loved to have seen LSU play in November in Lambeau Field. That would have been a lot more interesting. But we didn't get that. Still a great game. So we also found out that, and it's confirmed that, yes, Alabama is still godly. The dynasty continues. Lane Kiffin, Omar's favorite coordinator of all time, jokingly and a little respectfully trashed USC and made them look foolish with his play calling and his Twitter fingers.
Yeah, that tweet that he put out of, I believe it was a picture of his son holding a
Alabama jersey.
It was an Alabama jersey and saying, I forgot what exactly.
3:14 a.m. in LAX. I'll never forget that tweet.
3:14 at LAX. Well, I mean, now we know why there was 56 points put up on.
Oh yeah, there was confirmed. I mean, I think most of us kind of knew, kind of got the hint. Lane Kiffin's trying to really push it, but yeah, now it's confirmed. There's no way he was trying. So also week 2, my Hokies.
Horrible.
When you're up 14-0, who just decides to run a freaking speed sweep
with a dude who hasn't
with a dude that hasn't touched the ball and he's like the 7th, 8th string wide receiver? What? Ruined the game, fumble, we got embarrassed. A lot of positives out of that game. The most fumbles I've ever seen in my life as a Hokie fan. The most flags and chop blocks and oh my god, it was embarrassing.
It's not even like Tennessee played a great game either.
No, they're bad. Tennessee is a bad football team.
They're
better than us, but they're bad.
They're more disciplined than you guys.
I wouldn't even say they're more disciplined.
I wouldn't even say they're more disciplined too. They just have better grips. I guess they
have a better grip on the ball. I'd say that because you watch the fumbles.
Those were bad fumbles.
Bad fumbles.
All those fumbles could have been avoided. Every single one, easily. Just
Tennessee
human error.
Did nothing. I was arguing with the Hokie fan yesterday. He said, "Oh well, they executed on our mistake." They did nothing. They didn't do anything. I don't care what anyone says. You'll never convince me. On a lighter topic, Tom Herman is now somewhere in the top 5, arguably top 3 best college football coaches in America.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, David Shaw. Those 3 rotate week by week depending. And then Tom Herman can make that argument up in that top 3. And this Houston team reminds me of Florida, of the Urban Meyer Florida teams, of Ohio State Urban Meyer's teams. Obviously, Tom Herman coming from that Urban Meyer coaching tree. And they just look so well coached, so disciplined. They look so downhill football team. They look like they're always going forward. It's incredible. They win at the line of scrimmage, and then they have their athletes run at you with that top speed that they have. Greg Ward Jr., Omar's favorite player. Incredible player, man. Incredible team. And I truly believe there is no reason for Tom Herman to get out of Houston. Besides, if he gets a job at USC, Texas, Ohio State, maybe Florida, maybe Miami, I see absolutely no reason for Tom Herman to leave Houston. I hope he doesn't chase the money. I hope he doesn't go to like a Tennessee,
South Carolina,
a Washington, one of those second tier schools. Because obviously he's a top coach. Obviously he's got his stuff together. But he sits in a perfect spot. He is in Houston, Texas.
Big time high school football.
Hotbed of talent. And he's in the state of Texas. A hotbed of talent.
Right now, you could argue Houston's a more appealing team than the University of Texas.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Even though Charlie Strong's got it together.
He's starting to get it together.
Outside of the state of Texas, right now, Houston looks like the most appealing team in Texas. Now, in the state of Texas, Texas still rules. I'm not saying they don't. The Longhorns, don't get it twisted. In that state, the Longhorns rule. But outside, Houston has a grip on the country more than Texas does right now as we speak. Maybe not money-making or brand-making, but right now to 18 and 17-year-olds, Houston is the more appealing place. And to me, Tom Herman, I hope he doesn't chase the money. I know Houston has enough to build on. Houston also might get in the Big 12. I don't think they will. I don't think Texas would allow that. I don't think Oklahoma wants that.
Seems like the logical move, though, if they keep winning games like that.
Right, but Texas would not want Houston in the Big 12 because they would ruin them. So, and Texas runs the show in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they will. But to me, Houston can rip off 12 games a season. I don't see a reason why you can't live a great life, Tom Herman, of winning 10, 11 games for the rest of the next 20 years of coaching.
Yeah, well, I guess if you never try, you'll never know.
I get that, but what I'm saying is he can stay there and have a real life for his family, himself, win. Everyone loves him. Potential to win a national title because, again, he's in Texas. He's in the South. He can really, really recruit. He's in Houston. He's out there. He's in a good spot of recruiting. Where is he going to go? You're going to go to Alabama? It's not a great place to recruit. It's a nice place. Don't get me wrong. Virginia Tech, great place to recruit. It's not. Texas, USC, that's what I'm saying. Texas, beautiful town. Beautiful place to live in. Great recruits, so go there. USC, beautiful place. LA, great. The beach, great place to recruit. Ohio State, it's
Tradition.
Okay. But huge place to recruit the number 1 team in the North. They treat you like royalty. Miami, Florida, again, beach, hotbed of recruits. Beautiful place to live in. Alabama, not the best place to live in. LSU, not the best place to live in. Again, all those teams, all those schools that are going to offer Tom Herman, don't leave Tommy unless it's one of those 4 schools or that we mentioned. How many? No, 5 schools that we mentioned. Those 5 schools, Miami, Florida, Ohio State, USC, or Texas. Do not leave. No reason to leave. Win a bunch of games. Get a bunch of recruits. Have a great 20 years. And I want to get on a topic that's a little more serious. Colin Kaepernick has been probably the biggest story in a very long time in terms of social issues in sports. Colin Kaepernick does not want to stand for the national anthem. He went to sitting. He started with sitting. Well, it actually started with wearing pig police uniform socks, which I don't agree with. I think that's awful. I think it's stupid. Take those off. And he did. And he's done that. Good for him. And he decided to sit down, and all of America lost its shit. And to me, I don't understand why. I really don't. He has also evolved. I got to give him credit. He's also evolved. He's talked to military folks, people in the military, veterans. And now he kneels in respect for the veterans, a respect for all the sacrifices all our military men and women have done since the beginning of this country. So to me, if he say I respect them, but I'm also protesting how black people in this country are mistreated and there's a lot of prejudice, I don't see what's so wrong about that. I don't see anything wrong about that. And I got a little bit in a Twitter argument in my personal account with a person that I've known for a long time. And it's kind of something I always wanted to say for a long time is I don't care if you're from a rural town and you have a world view on something. I don't care about your world views. To me, your world views are completely invalid. You come from small town America. You come from middle America, the middle of nowhere. It's not that diverse. You don't see a lot of Muslim people there. You don't see a lot of black people there. You don't see a lot of Latinos there. You don't see a lot of Asian people there. Rural towns are usually 1, maybe 2 class. The town I grew up in, there's 5 different classes. And we all got along. And usually in those rural towns, it's the rich and the poor, and that's it. And they kind of don't sort of get along. The towns that we grew up in is a town near Chicago, Illinois. It's a very diverse town. You see lower class, lower middle class, upper middle class, and then the upper class. And they all get along. We come from a great, diverse place. I've also traveled the world. I've seen Holland. I've seen Germany. I've seen France. I've seen Mexico. I've seen Ecuador. I've seen Brazil, Argentina. And so when a person from a rural area tries to tell me about the experience of black people in the hood, where I've walked down Kimball and Lawrence, and you haven't, why would I listen to you? That's like a soccer player trying to tell a college football expert how Baker Mayfield should throw the football. It doesn't make any damn sense. We would never listen to that. Why would I listen to that? You have no opinion on that. All you've done is watch soccer. So why would I care what you say? Same thing here. Same logic applies. Why would I care about someone from a rural area about his worldviews of the Middle East? Guy from Starksville, Mississippi. I don't care about your opinion on the problems of Chicago. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Your opinion is invalid. You've never been out 20 miles away from your town. You've never left your own state. I don't care about what a guy from Boise, Idaho, and his opinions on ISIS in the Middle East, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. I don't care about your opinion. You didn't travel the world. And my number one pet peeve from a lot of these folks from rural areas, by the way, they could be black, white, Latino from these rural areas. They can be conservative, liberal, PC, anti-PC. I don't care. I don't care about your view. I will say there's an exception. There are rare people that come from rural areas that have traveled, so I would listen to them, but that's the exception. That's a very rare exception. And my number one pet peeve is when I hear, well, America is the best of all the countries, and it's so much better than anywhere else. It's got problems, but, you know, it's just the best, and it's just better than the rest. The rest of the world sucks. Something along those lines, those type of terms. those are the worst terms possible. Have you been to Holland? Have you seen Argentina? Have you seen Germany? Have you been to Paris? They're all beautiful. They're all great places. Now, I know the language barrier scares you because it's different because you're from a rural town. You haven't seen the world yet. But if you can get over that language barrier, it's perfectly fine to live there. Those are great places to live. Have you seen Fiji? I haven't been there. I've seen pictures and it's freaking beautiful. America isn't the best country in the world. All right? It really isn't. Fiji? New Zealand? Beautiful places to live. So this ultra patriotism is, to me, sickens me when it comes from rural towns that want to express their world views and they have no idea what they're talking about and they've never been outside their state. Lay off Colin Kaepernick. He had a different experience than you did. Have some empathy. Alright. A little more lighter topic, not so serious. Next week, preview betting lines. Me and the O. We're going to pick our top 5 favorite games. Most interesting games. And we're going to put some fake I Live for Saturdays dollars on them. Should be interesting. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how our betting pays off. Me and the O. We'll keep track of this. So, our first favorite game. Omar, what is it?
Miami's a 3.5 favorite over App State this week.
I got Miami, but it kind of scares me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my pick. I'm going App State. I'm putting down $25. I'm not too confident, but I got App State. That 3.5, that kind of scares me. That's a little scary. I thought Miami would be at least a touchdown favorite. Omar.
I feel like this is the kind of game that Miami wants to play at this point. You know, they're 2 games in, with a new head coach. They want to get tested, by a team that, can unsuspectingly test them. And this is exactly the kind of team that could,
It's not a crap team.
It's not a pushover.
But it's also not a pushover. Yeah, I see it. And they can come out hot. Yeah. I get it. And Mark Richt going to have them ready. But that line scares me. I still got App State. How much money you got in that game?
I got $50 on Miami.
$50 on the big O. Okay. Notre Dame versus Michigan State should be a good game. Very good game. Notre Dame is a 6-point favorite over Michigan State. Omar, what you got?
I got the home team, Notre Dame, 6 points. I think they'll cover the point spread. I think it'll be a close game.
I think so as well. I think Notre Dame comes out, surprisingly whoops their butt. 14 points. Notre Dame, I put in $25 in that game. Nebraska, 1-point favorite over Oregon. That is crazy.
I don't like that line. I'd pick Oregon. I feel like Oregon might end up actually blowing them out.
The line is exactly why I'm picking Nebraska. I got Nebraska over Oregon.
I think Vegas is trying to trick you.
I think Vegas is tricking you. I think Vegas is saying, oh my gosh, what? That's an easy steal. Let's steal this game. Nah, I got Nebraska. I'm putting down 100. I'm putting 100. I'm putting out the hundreds, man. $100 on Nebraska to cover that 1 point. Oklahoma over Ohio State. One that was very hyped up. Would have been a grand game had Oklahoma beat Houston. Should still be a very good game.
Competitive, for sure.
But Ohio State 1-point favorite? Omar, what you got?
Ooh. I'm gonna pick Urban Meyer. I'm gonna go with the Ohio State University.
How much?
I think it's gonna be a close game. I'd put about $25 on it, but
so not that confident.
Not that confident, just because. But I think I'll bet on Oklahoma to lose it for themselves.
Okay. Urban Meyer is my favorite coach. I think I've said that a billion times. But again, that line scares me. That is a crazy line. I wouldn't bet this, but we gotta bet it. And because it's such a crazy line, I am taking Oklahoma. I'm not putting 100 because I respect Urban Meyer too much. So I'm only putting a 50 out there.
And Louisville is a 1-point favorite over FSU this week. I'd pick Louisville. I think that Lamar Jackson is going to have one of those games that define him as, defines his legacy as a football player. I think there's going to be one of those games where people look back.
Louisville, they'll cover the points. I had Florida State in my college football playoff, but I didn't think Lamar Jackson. I knew Lamar Jackson, and we talked about him week 1 last year on a pod, week 1 pod, and I knew he was great. I didn't think he was this good, and I think he's going to tear up Florida State. I'll take the points. I'll put a 25er on it just because Florida State scares me, because I still want them to be in the college football playoff because that was my preseason pick. But I think Lamar Jackson ruins it, putting that 25, making that money. So, good pod, Omar. Good pod, yo. Good pod. Good job. Good job to you, baby. All right, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at I Live for Saturdays 4, as in the number 4. Like, comment, subscribe. Omar, sign off, man.
Peace.
Peace.